In the 17 years since the last Road Rash came out on the original PlayStation, few games have managed to replicate the fun of its madcap brand of motorcycle mayhem. Road Redemption gives recapturing that feeling an honest go, and while the moment-to-moment combat racing does a great job, its lack of variety and polish leaves much to be desired.
Right, Jon. I love watching those go boom.
Pulling up alongside a rival biker and duking it out with wrenches, pool cues, shovels, and swords is simple yet fun, and surprisingly challenging. This is largely thanks to variety added by explosives and firearms, though aiming and steering can be tough. There's a limited roster of enemy types, but the tactics required to defeat them keep encounters varied from race to race. For instance, you need to use a blunt melee weapon to knock off an opponent's helmet before attempting a decapitation with a sword, and the tactical elimination of certain enemies to earn money or recover health and nitrous required an unexpected bit of strategy, especially during the shorter races. Glossing over the wealth of technical quirks and graphics straight out of 2005, Road Redemption's biggest problem is a severe lack of content, and a lack of long-term replayability for what content there is. There are 16 tracks, but they're all similar variations of desert, mountain, or ruined city, and some are just other tracks in reverse. Besides racing for medals in its classic race mode, your only option is to repeatedly slog through the same maps while rotating through a handful of race objectives in the surprisingly grueling roguelike campaign mode. While it seems like a good idea on the surface, experience gains are laughably low early on, and there's little variety to each mission. Apart from occasional boss battles, it's the same 3 or 4 objectives on an endless loop. Road Redemption supports up to 4 players in local-only split screen, though unless you're playing on a big screen TV in 4K, it gets pretty muddy. But even the fun of bashing your pal's head in with a mallet becomes hard to enjoy because multiplayer lacks the automatic speed matching of single player, and without rubber banding, it turns into a much more straightforward and less interesting race. When you do manage to stay near your friends, the chaos that ensues is a solid time, but just like in solo play, the simple novelty of pummeling each other with shovels wears off quickly. Road Redemption's combat is a good but short-lived bit of manic fun, but it didn't offer enough to keep me engaged through the majority of the 13 hours I put into it, and I'm honestly not sure if that would change even with the addition of more to do. For more driving action, check out our reviews of Project Cars 2, Forza Motorsport 7, and F1 2017.